presenter because I just want to share a presentation as well.
Okay, you can present it. No problem.
So it says computer science is presenting. Okay, now it
Yeah,
says
just before starting the session, we have a formal session.
Yeah.
A welcome speech, prayer, etc. So just after that, you can start with your presentation.
All right.
Okay then.
Yeah. So anyone saying anything, or can I?
No, sir. We will start with a prayer.
Okay.
A very good morning to everyone. It is my immense pleasure to welcome all of you to this beautiful morning with great joy. Today, more than 2 billion people around the world are online. That is, these 2 billion people are relying on the internet to share information. Every people, organization, and the government need to know how much it is necessary to invest in cybersecurity. And we students, of course, must know much more about this area and the career opportunities too. The Department of Computer Science and Applications of St. Mary's College, Thrissur proudly presents the International Annual Webinar Series Byteclix 6.0 on the topic Which Cybersecurity Career Path is Right for Me by Mr. Sachin Thombre, Regional Channel Manager, Middle East and Egypt, IMERVA. Starting the day with a prayer is always a good omen. Let's start our program by seeking the blessings of Almighty. I invite me more for the prayer.
ദൈവമേ ഞാനിൻ സവിധി കൂപ്പുകൈകളുമായെന്നും അണഞ്ഞിടുമ്പോൾ നീ നിൻ കൃപ എന്നിൽ തൂകണമേ. സർവജ്ഞാനത്തിൻ ഉറവിടമാം ദൈവാനിൻ നിന്റെ ജ്ഞാനത്താൽ എന്നെ നിറച്ചിടണമേ. ഞാൻ ചെയ്യും കർമ്മങ്ങൾ നിൻ കൃപയാലാകണമേ. എന്റെ വീഥികളിൽ നീ ദീപമായിടണേ. ദൈവമേ ഞാൻ നിൻ സവിധി കൂപ്പുകൈകളുമായെന്നും അണഞ്ഞിടുമ്പോൾ നീ നിൻ കൃപ എന്നിൽ തൂകണമേ. കൃപ എന്നിൽ തൂകണമേ.
Now, I request Smitha Anand for the welcome speech.
A warm good morning to all. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the International Annual Webinar Series Byteclix 6.0, which is built with an intent of active and interactive learning, organized by the Department of Computer Science and Applications of St. Mary's College, Thrissur. I heartily welcome our beloved principal, Dr. Sister Magie Jose, who has a great vision and idea of student centricity, which has helped in several developments. In her absence, I welcome Sister to this event. Now, I go on to welcome our resource person, Mr. Sachin Thombre, who is the Regional Channel Manager of Middle East and Egypt IMERVA. He is a person with a very dynamic and inspired character who has more than 20 years of experience in the IT profession. With great respect, we welcome you, sir. Now, I extend a warm welcome to our HOD, Ms. Betsy Chacko, who is our constant strength and support in all our activities. Now I like to invite all our faculty members, students, and other extended audience who are being part of this event. I hope all of you will be having a most productive section of interesting and stimulating discussions. I again extend a warm welcome to everyone present in this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you for that warm welcome.
Thank you, Shweta. Just giving up some instructions before we start our session. If you have any queries, please wait till the end. We'll have a discussion session in the last. I request all of you to switch off your camera and mic, and please do not share your screen without any prior information. Now, without any further agitation, I welcome the resource person of the day, Mr. Sachin Thombre. He works as the Regional Channel Manager in Middle East and Egypt, IMERVA. IMERVA is a cybersecurity software and services company which provides protection to enterprise data and application software. He did his BE Mechanical Engineering in Bapuji Institute of Engineering and Technology, Davanagiri. He is an inspired IT sales professional with 20 plus years of IT experience, including 9 plus years in cybersecurity. I hope we will have a wonderful session under your guidance. Over to you, sir.
Wow, thank you. So I would first of all like to thanks Betsy ma'am for giving me this opportunity to speak to all of you. Thank you, thanks a lot. And I would actually like to keep this interactive, right? I don't want it to be very bookish. I don't want it to be a boring session. It has to be lively, interesting session. Cybersecurity is all that, yeah. It's not for the boring, dull people. It is a field for dynamism, innovation, creativity, intelligence, and that happens when you are relaxed, yeah. So yeah, Betsy ma'am, if it's fine, I would actually like to say to everyone that I would make it interactive. So anyone wants to ask any questions, anyone wants to raise any topic, feel free to do so. It's not that, yeah, I'm just going to speak, it's another lecture, 30 minutes, you all listen to me, oh, it was so boring, ask one question and then move away. Yeah, I will not do it that way. I have been through this, so yeah, is that fine, Betsy ma'am?
Yes, sir, as your wish.
Yeah, we'll keep it interactive. Will anyone has anything, any doubts, any questions, anything? Yeah, please do not hesitate to ask, and I will see what I can do. Before I get into the topic, I would also like to know a background about this batch. So, can someone give me a little brief about this batch? What have you learned in computers? What are you learning? What is it? What's your current understanding of cybersecurity? Yeah, that's something that I would like to know before I get into it. Anyone, yeah, any of the student. What do you understand of cybersecurity? What is your perception of this? What should we? And how many of you are actually interested in a cybersecurity career? Please feel, just add in answer. There's no right or wrong questions. Yeah, there's no right or wrong answers. Let's keep it interactive. So, anyone wants to share anything? No one knows what cybersecurity is. No one has an interest in joining cybersecurity career, taking up cybersecurity as a career in life. Seriously, everyone is so shy. Please don't be so shy. Yeah? The first thing that you have to learn in the industry is you can't be shy anymore, right? If you have to be successful in career, you have to take risk. Without risk, there's no success. You've got to take risk. As in, yeah, talk. Feel confident. No answer again yet. Okay. Someone wants to say something. No. Okay, let's see.
Cyber, sir,
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me.
can you hear me?
I can. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah,
For
go
me,
ahead.
cyberspace is a virtual space where each and every data are stored.
So you said cybersecurity is a virtual space where data is stored. So
No, cyberspace is a virtual space
cyberspace.
which
Yeah.
every data is stored. Cybersecurity is related to the cyberspace. The security which is related to cyberspace.
Yeah, quite true, quite true. Very nice, Angel. It is. That understanding is true. Yes. Anyone else want to give me anything about what they understand about cybersecurity? What do we do in the industry? What is cybersecurity? What is the job about? Cool. No one wants to share. Okay. A little bit background about myself before. So I started my career. So I was a mechanical engineer, right? And when I did completed my engineering, I had said to myself, "There's no way that I will end up my entire life with just machines and lathes and turbines and generators. I want to do something more different." And my sister then said that, why don't you join something in computer science? I said, what computer science? After completed mechanical engineering, what can I do in computer science? And am I not too late to start off anything in that? And she said, no, if you have that aptitude, if you have the creativity, intelligence, and hard work, then yeah, you can. So there was a company, a software company in Bangalore. So it was an international MNC. They wanted some engineers, and they said, we'll give you an aptitude test. If you clear our test, we will then train you. And once you clear your trainings and clear the exam, then you become a software engineer. And I thought, yeah, what better way to do this? So yeah, long story short, there were 600 students. Top 30 were selected. Out of top 30, top 10 were selected. And I got into this company, Logica, and I started my career as a software developer. So software development, multiple technologies, and then that led me to become a project manager, then projects manager, then I was an implementation consultant, then I went into management. Then I shifted jobs from one company to another company. First, I was in a large MNC. I was a small fish in a large company. And then I thought, no, I should do something which is a small company, but a larger role. And then I became the head of applications development team in a smaller company. And that company introduced me into the world of cybersecurity. So I was really, really fascinated, right? Until then, I was all about applications and functionalities and features and what can a software developer do, shouting and fighting with the software testers. And yeah, that was kind of my life. But then the cyber security, and when we started having ethical hackers, and these ethical hackers or the penetration testing engineers would find out security flaws in our applications, that was like, wow, this is. And I'm talking about 2007, 2008. Yeah. That just completely blew up my mind. And then I started taking more interest in it. And I soon then started becoming better in cybersecurity engineer with a lot of effort. As I started cybersecurity consultancy, right? So because of my background and experience in applications and applications development, I started consulting on cybersecurity. So I also did some certifications and exams and all that thing on the way. And from a cybersecurity consultant, I started heading a department for cybersecurity in a company in Abu Dhabi for 4 to 5 years. And from there, I then moved into a product company, IMERVA, which, as you have rightly said, prevents data breaches on applications and data, right? So we protect data and all the path that leads to that data. So anything in around that data is what we do in IMERVA. So yeah, so it was quite a good journey that we had from that I had, at least, from starting off from completing my education in mechanical engineering to becoming an application developer to security. The summary of my entire, why did I share this story, is that anyone can become a cybersecurity professional. That's the point I want to say. Yeah, I had no background, I had no experience, completely a mechanical engineer, had never worked with computers. 1995 to 1999. 2000 is when I came out, 99, 2000. And cybersecurity industry still accepted me, and there is a journey that I'm going through. So it is, the first thing in our mind is that, oh, I have just done this, or I don't have that experience. Can I still be into cybersecurity? Yes, of course. All you need is an interest. That's it. All you need is an interest, your hard work, your willingness, and you can get into this field very well. I would Google Chrome would like to record this computer screen. Why? So deny share. Chrome would like to share the contents of your screen with your media. Okay, what you would like to share. Can't share your screen. Why? So that's it. So privacy allow, as of now, will not be able to record the contents of your until it is quit. You can choose to quit now or do it on your own later. Will not be able to record the contents of your screen until it is quit. So I will have to close Google Chrome. Is that what it is? But if I close Google Chrome, then how can I open system preferences, click security and privacy. Sorry, I just didn't know that this is.
Is there any trouble for sharing the screen?
Yeah, looks like it. Later. So if I allow this.
Or if you can mail the contents, we will present it from here and you can have the session. Is that okay?
Cool, that's also fine. Just one. I will see. Okay, so it says that I can't. Just it's not allowing me to share. And I think that's because of the privacy settings in my laptop. Yeah.
Okay,
so
sir. In the chat box, I have shared the mail ID. You can send a copy to this mail ID so that we will present it from here.
So in the in the chat option you have sent me,
Mail ID.
Yeah. Just give me a minute. Here it is. And wow, it just 42 KB. Cool. So just check if you have received it.
Did you send it, sir?
Yeah, I have sent it.
Okay, sir. We'll get it.
Have you received it? Have you received it, Betsy?
Yes, sir. Yes. We will present it now.
Cool. But this is a little surprise. Come on, guys, you should be able to speak something. It shouldn't just be one way. Huh? No, one way. One way is boring. It's outdated.
So the students who are attending the session, most of the students are from first year and third year graduation students, Bachelor of Computer Application. So almost 40 of the students just completed their +2 and joined in the first year.
Oh.
And the remaining students are from third year, and few of PG students are also there.
Oh.
And they don't have a subject cyber security as such in the syllabus. So
Right.
this would be like an awareness session for them about cyber security. And if they want to be in that career, they may be
Right.
able to select too.
Oh, okay. Now this yeah. Thank you, ma'am. This gives me some idea about yes, what kind of profile I'm talking to. Otherwise, I wouldn't know where do I baseline, where do I start.
Yes.
Right. So while the presentation is going on, so we all understand that. So if you can just in the presentation mode. And please, move on to the next one, please. Can I become the no, just carry on. Move on to the next slide, please. Yeah. So today, if you look at it, data is the most important asset in the organization, right? In anywhere, actually, anywhere and everywhere. You know why the mobile is so important to us? Of course, it has some monetary value to it, right? It has some money associated to it. But then more than that, it is the data that is in your mobile. That's why you keep protecting your mobile much more than, let's say, something else in your hand, right? Data is the most critical asset. Everyone and anyone is actually behind data. And it is the data that brings value to any business. Now look at that, all your entire college. Yeah, you have teachers and students, but until and unless you don't have secure and safe syllabus that has been given to you, and there's nothing that would be left to talk if someone steals it, tampers it, changes it, modifies it, sells that off to anyone, then there's not much that you can do in the college. So it is information, it is data that is the most important asset of any organizations, whether it is banks, whether it is colleges, universities, whether it is government, oil and gas, manufacturing, trading, anywhere and everywhere. You will realize that data is the most secure asset of the organization. Now, what has happened is with the proliferation of data, that means the more and more increase of data in organizations. Now, data can be in nice files, emails or documents or Excels or in databases or in now there are so many different types of data repositories or the data in the cloud. Now you might have heard about AWS, about Azure, and all of these technologies, all the cloud computing technologies. So your data could be in so many different forms, number one. Number two, it could be so generally in industry we call it as structured data and unstructured data. So structured data and unstructured data, and this unstructured or structured data could be stored in so many different formats. It's either a file server or a database server or a document server or whatever, right? You have application servers where all the applications sit and applications and access the data. So there are so many ways of accessing data, and an entire business or any organization ultimately works on your data. Then for that data, there is application, there is infrastructure, there is everything else. But what is ultimately everyone doing is that trying to work on the data, use data, consume data, and sell data. What has happened is over the past so many years, while everyone were paying attention to building business on products, on services, on the features and enhancements and what I can do to others, what was missed out was the security of this, right? The security aspect was missed out. So much so that one person, Mr. Dimitri, and he in the cybersecurity field, he's a very well-recognized person. So this person had discovered an Operation Shady Rat. Rat is a remote access tool. So this organization, McAfee, had done an operation to find out how many organizations in the world out of the Fortune 2000 organizations, the global top 2000 organizations, how many of these organizations have been hacked, right? One way or the other. And he was surprised to see that there are only two types of companies: those that know they have been hacked or those that they don't know they have been hacked, which means that they are still hacked, which basically means that out of this top 2000 companies, every single company or organization was in some way or the other hacked. And what do we mean by saying hacked? Someone stealing, robbing, viewing, editing, modifying, changing, deleting your data without your permission or without your knowledge, right? And so that's the truth and reality of life, that in spite of so much of technical awareness, so much of technology advancements, the biggest and the largest, and right up to one person organization, right? The biggest and the largest organization to the smallest of organizations continue to have a data breach or a data compromise or a cybersecurity incident in some way or the other, causing a business loss or a reputation loss or a business continuity issue or something or the other. It continues to happen, right? And this is the relevance of it. Why is cybersecurity so important? right? I think this is not the latest one, but cool. So this is the importance of cybersecurity, that every single organization today in some way or the other has either been compromised, and the other organization, they just don't know that they have been compromised. All right. And similarly, yeah, this former FBI director, Robert Mueller, he has gone ahead and quoted, say that even those that are converging into one category, companies that have been hacked and will be hacked again, you know. So earlier the question was, as the advancements kept happening, that will I be hacked at all, right? What big thing that am I doing that my data is going to be compromised or stolen by someone? What's the big deal? And am I that important enough to someone that that they will steal my data? But what we have moved out from that question, will I be hacked, to the question of, do you know that you are hacked? Right? It's just moved on from that to that, which basically means that every single organization in some way or the other, either through an external threat or through an internal insider threat, has been hacked in some way or the other, and the data has been compromised. So it's companies are converging into just one category: companies that have been hacked and will be hacked again, right? And therefore, the relevance of cybersecurity comes so much more into the picture. Yeah. Can you please move on to the next one, please? Now, when it comes to cybersecurity, right, people have different ideas and notions about perceptions about cybersecurity, right? So generally, the thing is, oh, cybersecurity, okay, it is about how many breaches you have detected or prevented. So when I say a data breach, I'm talking of modifying, editing, deleting, changing, accessing, viewing data which is not as per your permissions or approvals, right? So someone has done something with your data and without your explicit approval on it. So people generally think, okay, cybersecurity is about preventing these data breaches or detecting the data breaches, or if there's an incident, then how many of these incidents, how have you handled that incident, right? People generally think cybersecurity is just that. Or then the people think that, okay, so cybersecurity is about vulnerabilities, security weaknesses, yeah, or gaps, or flaws, security flaws or gaps in applications, in network, in infrastructure, in systems. So yeah, we got to protect that, patch it, yeah. So protecting or patching or closing any security gaps is what cybersecurity is. Or it is about training your employees, yeah, bringing awareness and letting people know that what is right, what is wrong, what should be done, what should not be done. Or it is about cybersecurity is about making sure that an organization is compliant to some rules or regulations that. So there are, for banks, you have like PCI DSS. For healthcare industries and hospitals, you have HIPAA. For other organizations, you have SOX compliances, you have ISO 27001, you have the country and state government and different rules and regulations on security regulations. So as long as I'm compliant, or as long as I adhere, or as long as I am doing things according to that, then that's cybersecurity. No. After all of this 10 years of experience, my personal experience has been that cybersecurity is not just that, it's all of this and so much more. Yeah, it is. So it is an engineering field, it is a consultancy field, it is a product specialization field, it is a very good technical field, and yeah, it's so much more, right? And every single day you get to learn so much more. You have so much more things to not just know. Yeah, so all of this is cybersecurity. Yeah, all of this combining together. And the most relevant question in all of this is, how likely are you to get hacked today? The most important thing that every organization needs to think about is right now, right today, what is the possibility of my data being hacked, number one. And this is again a personal question to your own life, your bank accounts, your Google accounts, your emails, your Facebook, Twitter, social media, your whatever digital life that you live, right? How likely am I to be hacked today? What have I done to prevent this from being hacked? And have I measured it? Have I checked it? That is very, very, very important. What organizations or individual people do is that, okay, yeah, I have a safe password and I keep changing the password. I don't say that password to anyone else. And I have taken some backup of my systems. I have taken this, I've done that. But people do not actually measure the progress or do not measure that whatever have I done, is it good enough, right? For a hacker versus you. So there's a lot of nowadays attacks cybersecurity crimes are not just done using technology, but something called social engineering skills, right? What you say in a mall, what you say in a shop, what you talk and discuss between your friends can all be used against you sometime or the other. And that's the latest technique. It's called social engineering threat, where people use whatever information you have and whatever, oh, I've gone to this place, I have visited this nice beautiful city and this place, and you're putting all those pictures in Facebook, then you put all your family members in the Facebook or in social media, and there are some people who are all looking into all that continuously and then profiling you, finding out all your information that, okay, who's in your family, where have you gone, when is your vacation, what are you doing, which school do you go to, which college do you go to, where do you live. People find out all of this information through whatever your digital your digital footprint is. And this is same thing that happens in organizations as well. Just so if you've got to be personally very conscious about security, and that's how you got to be, that's how you got to do for your organization as well. That how likely is my organization going to get hacked today, and what have I done to prevent it, and have I measured it? Have I checked that? That is important, right? So cybersecurity is all about all of this. So it's a very, very, very interesting field. It's a very interesting field. You just get to learn every single day a lot of things. Yeah. Can we move on to the next one, please? Now, coming to the interesting part, your career path, right? So there are different career paths that you can go on. So you can become a security engineer. So when I say security engineer, there are so many different names that are there: security architect, network security engineer, solutions architect, whatever, right? So all of these ultimately come in the field of security engineer, where you will be responsible for the security for the security of applications, data, or network or systems, right? So that's one career point. The other career path that you can take up is becoming an ethical hacker, or an information security analyst or a forensic expert. What does an ethical hacker do? So there are we have a concept called black hat and a white hat, right? Black hats are those real bad guys who are hacking into your system for a malicious intent. Yeah. So they compromise your credentials, they use your passwords, they find out the security gaps that you have in your systems, in your applications, in your networks, in your infrastructure, and they somehow try to breach, steal that data and use it and sell it. So they make money out of it. Cybercrime, by the way, is a very, very, very big industry today. Yeah, it's a very, very successful running industry, cybercrime. Yeah, there are a lot of organizations, there are companies, there are governments, there are state sponsoring cybercrime, and there's a lot of money that is exchanged. So now that's the bad part. You can become the good part of it, right? You can become the police. So people become thieves. You can become a police, and that's ethical hacker. That is, you are hacking into a system, but not to create, not with a malicious intent, but with the intent of finding out what the security gaps are and how do you close that security gap. Right? That's ethical hacker. So that's what I started off my career with, as a certified ethical hacker. That how do you find out what are the gaps in your systems, in your networks, in your infrastructures, in your applications, and then block them, right? So ethical hacking is prevention, and forensic experts are post the incident. If a hack has already happened, then you have to do an investigation and analysis of how did this cybercrime happen, right? So there is a lot that's a lot of there's a lot of science and technology behind that, but that's a very interesting career, a very, very well-paid career. So that's that. Then the third path is becoming a governance, risk, and compliance professional. So so I had done this ISO 27001 lead auditor, ISO 27001 lead implementer, and there are so many certificates and certifications that you have, which are for those people or those professionals who tell the organization that, okay, you know what, from a people, process, technology point of view, what kind of gaps we have and how these gaps have to be closed, right? Now, this requires a lot of creating frameworks, analysis, documenting, finding out what the policies are, what if something goes wrong, then what do we do, how do we prevent, what is our roadmap for the next 3 to 5 years, if our business is going in this direction, then what are the security risks associated to those, how do I mitigate those security risks associated to that. All of that comes under the governance, risk, and compliance department. So that's something that you can choose that career. And then there are people like me who become product specialist or a technology evangelist, right? I have just chosen and decided that instead of doing many things, I can specialize in one particular technology or one particular product or solution, and I can just pass that particular to anyone. So you can choose your career path, right? You have a different careers that you can take up. And by the way, every single one is very, very, very well paid. So I was just looking at the top 10 most paid careers, right? So doctors somewhere comes in top 1, but then after that there is all about blockchain, data scientists, and blockchain developers, and that's where cybersecurity comes in as well. That cybersecurity is today one of the most well-paid job in not only in India but world over, right? And there's a huge demand for this, and there's a lot of there's a big gap. Today only cybersecurity happens to be an industry where there is 1:2 ratio. As in, if there are 300,000 job requirements, there are only 700 or 800,000 people who are filling up that job or applying for those jobs. Whereas every other job you will find 1:5 times, right? That you ask for an engineer, you will have 5 times engineers coming into your, filling that same thing, saying that, okay, I'm eligible for this. But for cybersecurity, although it seems in India itself there is a demand and a need for more than 1 million cybersecurity specialists, right, in one of these fields. But there's a huge gap in terms of supply. There's a huge demand and there's not enough supply of cybersecurity professionals in not only in India but the worldwide. Worldwide, this is the phenomenon. So what I'm trying to say, it is a very good industry to be in, and it's a very good industry to get into. Yeah, there's a good path. Moving on. So yeah, so now this is the thing that you could choose to become security engineers or analysts or ethical hackers, forensic experts, and these are the broad terms, right? Industry specific is very, you get different naming conventions and different designations and titles and all that stuff. But ultimately, it will boil down to one of these 3, 4. Yeah. Moving on to the next slide, please. Now it's a question of how do I choose? What should I now? You are all just in college. You have not seen what's. You have not been through many alternatives to know that what is it that will work best for me. So I just, based on my experience, yeah, this is something. Now, if you're a problem solver, right? If you are a problem solver, that is okay. You love to solve problems. Okay, what is it that is there with me? What is it that is missing? What is it that is a gap? What is it that I need to understand and quickly find a solution? If that is your mentality and aptitude, then security engineering is a very good field or the path to choose. If you are a quick learner, right, you are able to understand complex things very easily and fast, and you like to build and work on that and make it better, then security architect kind of roles are very good, right? You can choose that as a role. So you are responsible for the architecture of large complex networking, infrastructure systems, applications of the organization. So that's the part. If you like to share your knowledge, right? So I was a cybersecurity consultant for a long time. 5 years I was a consultant. That was a field where I would go to organizations and actually ask them, okay, find out what your security gaps are, number one. I would speak to clients what the business is, what kind of security risks they have based on security risk, what are the kind of framework solutions you already have. So where is the gap, Mr. Customer? And based on your gaps, what recommendations do you give to close these gaps, right? Now, if you are very comfortable with all of this kind of communication and meeting clients, talking to people, going places, there's a lot of risk associated also, because sometimes your solution could go wrong. Your recommendation might not be the right one. So if you are interested in doing this kind of thing, then security consultancy is a very good role for you. So, and this is all about sharing your knowledge. The more you share, the more you get. The more you give, the more you get. Yeah, that's the thing. So you've got to constantly be at the stage where you are making people aware. Yeah. Then creativity. If you're very creative, innovative, right from kids, like the first thing that if you're seeing in a toy is how to use the toy or how to break the toy, right? If those kind of people that if you've been, that I want to break the toy, I want to find out what is inside it. Why does it work that way? Why does it not work this way? Why should it only go in this direction? Why should it not go in that direction? What happens if I change that? If you are into that level of thinking, then you should get into ethical hacking skills. Yeah. So this is about this is a very interesting engineering field to be in. Yeah, becoming an ethical hacker, and there's lots and lots I can talk about it. But yeah, but any creative, innovative, intelligence, out of box thinking kind of person, if that's your natural flair, that's your natural ability, then yes, get into this. And then those people, who constantly like to identify mistakes and find out, okay, oh yeah, the food that was all good, but you know what, you did this wrong here. So there are people who love to find out mistakes or gaps or keep saying that there are better ways to make things better and improve efficiency and all that kind of thing. Then governance, risk, compliance is your field. So depending upon what your aptitude is, what is your current natural skill, natural, what do I say, disposition or natural inclination is, you can choose one of those fields, and then you'll start excelling in that. So that's moving on to the next one, please. One of the biggest thing about cybersecurity is you got to learn. It's a learn. Now, I wanted to say a lot of things and I can keep saying, but I thought what I will do is I'll ask you all to spend some time into cybersecurity career path, e-learning books. There are a lot of books that are available for security professionals for free. There are a lot of certifications, that exactly which certification, which one should I be doing. I would suggest everyone that whoever gets into a cybersecurity to do this CompTIA or a CEH certification. If you want to get into ethical hacking, security engineering, you got to have CCNA, CCDAs kind of certification. But whatever I'm saying will just be words to you, right? It doesn't mean much because you still need to have that industry exposure. You need to have that exposure to what I'm talking about. So rather than me saying something and it just says left, you find it out, you explore. Because one of the biggest thing in cybersecurity is in the industry, in the job, you will never have an option, you will never be in a stage where everything is known to you, right? You have to discover, you have to explore, you have to find out yourself, you have to find out the solutions, you have to take a risk, and you have to be willing to experiment. A cybersecurity professional is also a very good scientist. So learn. Find out as much as time you get, you start seeing that how much I can find out what are the latest industry trends, what are the latest discoveries that are happening, what are the latest technologies that are coming. Keep yourself up to date. Have a big network of cybersecurity professionals. Find out. Okay, one of the biggest tips that I can give you is have a mentor, right? Every job, every career, that whichever career you choose, and whether it's cybersecurity or not, choose and find out a mentor and ask your mentor to guide you. Now, how do you choose a mentor itself is a big question, right? Mentor is a person who has walked your path. So you want to like say, okay, 10 years down the line, I want to become a CEO of a company, right? Let's say that. So you need to do is find out in your industry circles who are the CEOs that have already gone and walked through this path, network with those kind of people, and then learn from them that how do you go and walk in this path, so that you avoid mistakes, number one, and use their experience and expertise to guide you through this path. So find out mentors in cybersecurity and use their experience and guidance to help you in that career. That is very important. The Karnataka government has a very good center of excellence for cybersecurity. I've just put the link to that. They do a lot of webinars and trainings and courses for free for children, for college-going people. So there might be some center of excellence for cybersecurity in Kerala also. I have no idea. There might be some. And all of these organizations provide webinars, trainings, courses. Some are free, some are paid. So you could join that and then learn more about it. And so that's considering that I had just 45 minutes and I took 15 minutes more. I'm so sorry. This is it. Any questions for me? Do we have one more slide? What's the next one? That's it. Okay, cool. So anything to me? I've been speaking a lot. Any doubt, any question?
So now we'll have a discussion session. If you have any queries, you can ask it directly in the Google Meet, or for the YouTube viewers, please post your queries in the comment box.
Oh wow, I did not know I was on YouTube as well. How do I see that?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, Anita?
While searching cybersecurity, the most familiar word is cryptography. Could you share what is cryptography?
It is one of the jargon that is used, but it's not the most important. It is used, So cryptography is a whole science on encryption, decryption, right? A lot of emphasis is on how do I make sure that whatever data I have, right? It could be anything which is very sensitive, anything which is very valuable. How do I ensure that it is encrypted in such a way that it is not understood by others, right? So there are now different encryption standards that are created by different organizations, and these different organizations have their set methods of encrypting. So this whole science and technology of encrypting, decrypting, is cryptography. So that's one of the. So when communication has to go from one organization to another organization, one place to another place, right? Data has to be transferred in the network from one place to another. People want to have secure communication channel, right? And to have secure communication channel, what do you do is one way is securing the channel, or the other is encrypting the whole data that has been transferred between one place to another, and it is used through various cryptographic methods that are available. Yeah, it is a very interesting. That is very interesting field to be in. Any other question?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir, my name is Anne Maria.
Yeah.
We know that there are so many programming languages. So which language is the best one for cybersecurity?
So it's like asking in India, you have so many languages, which language is the best, right? In programming also, there are so many languages, and each of these languages have been built for a purpose. So you need to first find out which purpose you are working for. Let's say if you're working on artificial intelligence or cloud computing or applications. So based on the purpose, you define and you choose your platform, and based on the platform, you choose a language, and based on the language, then you develop your specialization. So many things are on Ruby on Rails, something on Python, something on, nowadays I have, what is the latest one on cloud, artificial intelligence and cloud computing? There is a framework, I forgot that, which is the latest stack that has been used now. But yeah, so that is irrelevant, because this will keep changing. So when I used to do C, C++, .NET, Java, and all those stuff, those were the latest thing. But now we have moved on. But in any case, my experience has been this: that if your fundamentals in C, C++, V, C++, I don't know whether they're there or not, but if the fundamentals on those are good and strong, right, you can pick up anything very fast and quick. Yeah, whether it is Ruby, whether it's Python, whether it is the latest Java, whether it is. So we have. And for our own product, and it's not only enough to know the specific language, but you would also need to learn the platform, right? So whether it's a Microsoft platform, is it a Java platform, and whether there's an IBM platform, so you will need to understand that as well when you get into the industry. So basically choose your language based on the purpose that it serves, and not the other way around. Because what will happen is, once you become an expert or specialist in one language, then you're kind of bound and you're stuck, right? I wouldn't want a cybersecurity professional to be bound and stuck by one thing. And the bigger thing is, what you need to know is you have to identify the gaps and close and prevent it. So yes, it is a good thing to know the language, but it is better to know how do you identify gaps in that, and close the gaps. So you have to understand that you are not a developer. The development role is more into, okay, specific cybersecurity, what specific software language do I specialize in? Yeah, that would be more of an application development path. That person needs to grow in that. Developers or testers, right? But when you are choosing cybersecurity, then you have to know, okay, what is the bigger purpose, or which is the career path I'm going to join, and in that career path, what is it that my roles is going to be, and then you boil down. Yeah, so it has to be a top-down approach.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any other question? Thank you. Any other question? But yeah, Python, Ruby, and this artificial intelligence, they come with a pack. They are pretty good nowadays. Yeah, so picking up any one of these latest and relevant ones will help you. Anything else?
Sir, I'm Shilpa.
Yes, Shilpa.
My question is, how can we detect cyber attacks? And if I found that my data is being hacked, what should I do first?
It is asking a heart specialist that if I get a heart attack, how do I operate? Right? This can't be answered. This can't be answered just so easily. So when you know, first of all, yeah, you have to know what cybersecurity incident is happening in your organization, right? Or is it a continuous one? Is it one time only? Has it does it happen often? What are the patterns behind it? How is it happening? What is the means of that hack happening? Is it through applications? Is it through networking? Is it through systems? Is it through some people accessing it? So what is your threat? Who is this threat, and what kind of threat vectors are being used? What kind of attack methods are being used? What kind of security gaps are being exploited? So there are so many things, right? And for each of this, you will have different tools and technologies that are available to you. So based on these tools and technologies of finding out, investigating, there are remedial measures, there are remediations, there are preventions, and there are closures, right? So there are different technologies that you can patch and close these gaps. So becoming a cybersecurity incident handler is a very interesting job. That's especially for the young people. It's something that will keep you on your toes and keep you thinking. So which industry you choose, which technology you choose, which platform you work on, which you will have to use different ones. There's not one solution fit for all. Yeah, there's definitely not one thing that meets all. But I would definitely, ask you to download some. Okay, so as I was saying, first of all, anyone interested in a little bit of cybersecurity should do some this CompTIA or OSCP or CEH kind of certification. When you do these kind of certifications, you will be introduced to a lot of tools and platforms and technologies where you can start doing some kind of hacking, right? And then you slowly from that you start learning that what should I do to prevent, block, and by the way, when the cybersecurity incident happens and when you are in that incident handling team, it is not all about tool and technology only. There's a lot about process, documentation, evidence, fact finding, analysis, reports. That also is there. That's a lot of that kind of work and effort also that goes into it. So yeah, it is a very interesting field to be in, and it's a very well-paid job. And then you move on. Yeah, doing that constantly throughout your life is tough. Yeah. So the short answer is there are lots and lots of technologies. You will have to find out which one you want to get into. But to get into any of these, first thing is, yeah, please do some courses which are outside the syllabus, right? There are a lot of basic cybersecurity courses that are available for free and paid. So first do this. I don't know whether you have this opportunity, but CompTIA, CEH, OSCPs. So depending on how theoretical and how practical you want to become, yeah. So that's and all of these, when these certifications are being taught, you will get introduced to so many tools, free and paid, and then start building one, and then you create your own. And typically, what happens in organizations and industries is they have their own tools. They customize tools. They have their own product tools that they would have purchased from a cybersecurity vendor, and they would use that tool. And a good cybersecurity engineer never relies on just one tool and one technology, right? You have to be independent of that. You have to. It's like once you learn car driving, then you can drive any car, right? It's that. So it's that once you become independent of the tool technology, you learn different, then you can keep changing and modifying and according to what you need, according to what is required at that moment. Hope I've answered that question, Shilpa.
Okay,
Cybersecurity incident handler, yeah. Cool. Anything else? I think it's time.
Thank you, sir, for giving your valuable insights on this topic. It was indeed very informative and interesting. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
I request all the participants to fill the feedback form shared in the comment box. Next, I welcome Anne Maria for the vote of thanks. Good afternoon, all. Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Sachin Thombre, respected Principal, Dr. Sister Magie Jose, teachers, and my dear participants. It's an honor for me to have the opportunity to give a vote of thanks on this day. I, on behalf of the Department of Computer Science and Applications of St. Mary's College, Thrissur, extends a hearty vote of thanks to all the delegates of the webinar for their presence and contribution to make this webinar exemplary. I would like to extend my gratitude to Mr. Sachin Thombre for enlightening us with his knowledge. Today's webinar was full of knowledge and interesting things. It gave deep insight into the topic and also revealed some interesting facts. Mr. Sachin Thombre told us about cybersecurity was informative. I'm pretty sure the precious knowledge that Mr. Sachin gave us will help us in our studies and future. Once again, I would like to thank Mr. Sachin for taking out time from his busy schedule. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
I would also like to thank our principal, Dr. Sister Magie Jose, in her absence, for providing support to make this webinar successful. I also extend my gratitude to Ms. Betsy Chacko, Head of the Department of Computer Science and Applications, for organizing our annual webinar series of this year internationally. I want to thank the committee who worked hard to make this event successful, and also thank you to all the participants here for paying your attention and learning. Thank you everyone once again for making our webinar successful. Thank you.
Thank you to everyone who's involved in it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
It was a very good session. The students were not much familiar to the field cyber security, and this was